Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for your previous likes, comments and subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, why not click on that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can get notifications whenever I'm dropping videos on the channel, which is daily. On to now today's topic, and I'm going to be talking about demolition power. So you'll see this figure attached to each of your legions. I'm going to be discussing what it is, what it does, how you get it, and what impact it has on your game. So let's first talk about structures. So in the game, whether it's your castle, an alliance center in ROC, an honor building, a structure in the Eden map or on the Eden map, or a tile, all of these elements have durability values. And basically your demolition power for your legion is the figure that legion will remove from the durability of that item, structure, castle, whatever it is, when they hit it and win the battle. So if you're hitting an alliance center and its durability value is 10,000, and you have a legion that has a 500 demolition value, then you need to successfully attack and win a battle in that building 20 times to zero it. In the case of obviously taking tiles, you're going to occupy the tile, and the same for structures on the Eden map. You're not zeroing, you're just occupying them. So how do you get your demolition value? There are a few variables that affect demolition value. So if we go to our legions, first off is troop type. So cavalry have the lowest level of demolition value. Then it's going to be archers, and finally footmen. So footmen have the highest value of for demo value, and that means that you're going to be able to take tiles, for instance. So a tile has a durability value of 500, and that is always going to be a really key figure for you if you're in a Reign of Chaos battle or you're doing a tile battle on an Eden map. You want to have you really want to have a demolition value for your legion of 500, so that you can hit and occupy that tile, the enemy tile, in one hit. That is really important for conserving stamina. You don't want to be having to hit a tile twice with cavalry just to be able to obviously occupy that tile. If you can do it in one hit, you're going to double the amount of tiles you can take with your stamina or energy. So it's really important. In terms of cavalry, you can actually, there's only one way you can get above 500 demolition power with cavalry, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But with footmen, you can actually start taking, I think if I remember correctly, you can start taking tiles with T6 footmen, because you will be, if you have a high enough troop count, then that will push the demolition value of the legion over 500. With archers, you won't be able to take the demolition value purely on troop level and troop quantity. You need a bit of research, so I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well. So the higher the level of the troop, the higher the demolition value. So if we look here in this legion, so currently the cavalry, it's T9 cavalry, and that demo power was 460. Now I've got max troop capacity. All these heroes are level 50. They're all awakened, and the training ground is level 25, and this is the same for all of my legions. If we now put in T1 cavalry, you see the demolition value drops down to 269. So first off is your troop level. The higher the level, the higher demolition value. Now let's have a look at troop quantity. So like I say, this is maxed. So if we just drop it down to around 54,000, give or take. So it's around half capacity. There we go. And again, so that demo value drops again, 226 at half capacity. So troop numbers are important. There we go. It goes back up to 2669. That is just with T1 troops. So that is so troop type, troop level, and troop quantity all have an impact on your demolition value. A couple of things that does not have an impact is enhanced troops. So again, we've got a demolition value of 460 here. We've got all 3 squads of normal troops. Let's swap over and put a enhanced troop, or even let's do 2 rows of enhanced troops in the middle and back row. No impact on the demolition value. So you don't need to enhance your troops. That's not going to help. The other thing is gear. Gear does not help either. Do you see here? This legion has no gear attached to it. Its demolition value is 460. My Legion 3 is a cavalry legion as well, with all gold gear, 460. So gear does not have an impact on your demolition value either. However, for cavalry, there is one key hero that will make a difference to your demolition value, and that hero is Avalanche. Now, Avalanche is an SX2 hero, so you're only going to be able to get her when you are in Eden, and well, in Eden X Rising, sorry. So Avalanche is a back row hero. She's one of the best killer heroes in the game. For me, she is probably the best hero in the game. Now, if you put her in your Legion, you'll see the demolition value has increased by 300 to 760. The reason for that is because Avalanche on her 6th skill gives 300 increased demolition power. She's the only hero in the game that has that ability, which makes her so special. Why is that important? It means that you can have a cavalry legion that has over 500 demo power. That means they have the quickest marching speed. You can get to that enemy tile and occupy it in one hit. Really, really important, guys. There is another element that does impact your demolition power as well, and that is research. So none of the normal basic research in the earlier stages of the game have any impact on demolition power. But in Master Warfare, there are 2 sections which are called the assault sections, not to be confused with the assault sections in the Legion research. That does not do the same thing. I don't know why the devs have called it the same title, but they do different things. So for this assault research in Master Warfare, you have this first section here, and you can see it increases cavalry destruction power, archer destruction power, and footman destruction power by 10%. If you have archers and you complete this first section of archer support, if you've got T9 archers, this will push them above 500 demo power. So this is really good if you get to Master Warfare. You want to unlock this assault power, this cavalry assault, as quickly as possible. Not to mention, obviously, if you're increasing the demolition power of your legions, all 3 troop types, then you're actually going to get more points from Reign of Chaos Wars. You're going to get more points from taking structures in Eden, etc. The other section is quite far down in Master Warfare. I think it's around 70-75% you have to complete. It's after the multi-mark section. And again, this is going to give you an extra 10% demolition power from these 3 again. It's exactly the same research, just a second section of it in Master Warfare. So that is the only research that will impact demolition power. There are a few other things to look at as well. So we've talked about footmen heroes having the highest demolition, footmen troops having the highest demolition power. Plus we have Avalanche with her extra demo power. Now, Avalanche is a cavalry hero, but if you actually put her with the footmen, so at the moment this footman legion has a demolition power of 736. If we swap out Jade Rexassa and put in Avalanche, the demolition value increases to 1036. So if you're, for instance, if you are trying to just take structures in Eden, doing this legion will give you the maximum amount of demolition power. Footmen combined with Avalanche. So just that's another point. Another section to talk about is specialization. There are multiple things in specialization that do affect demolition power and also impact on durability. So if we go into demolition, first off, let's go into blue. And on blue up, you will see that there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nodes or segments, and these give destruction power up to +9. So you can gain, there's 9 lots of these segments, you can actually gain 81 increased demolition power for your legions by doing these nodes. Now, are you desperate to do that? I don't know. A lot of people don't really use a lot of specialization points on blue up, but if you were quite far into the game, maybe you've got over 100 spec points, then you might consider doing this. It's going to obviously give you points easier. And on this blue up, there are also 2 skills that have an impact on destruction, on demolition. First off is this demolition skill here, the 3rd skill up. After use, it can increase demolition power between +10 and +50. So if you max this skill with 5 spec points on it, this will give you +50. Now, if you at least get it to +40, why is that important? Because if you noticed before, my T9 cavalry legions, which have both sections of Master Warfare completed as well, and they're maxed in terms of troop quantity, they have 460 demolition power. If I activate this skill, and at least I've got it at the level 4 out of 5, that would give me an extra 40 specialization. That would give me an extra 40 demolition power. That takes me to 500. I could run 4 cavalry legions with their quick marching speed, and they would be able to take tiles in 1 hit. It only lasts 10 minutes, but if you're in a very strategic situation where you need to take tiles quickly, whether you're in Eden or a Reign of Chaos battle, this could make the difference to you. So this is a very good skill in certain situations with this increase in demolition power. The last skill is Siege Hammer, and again, after use on the next attack. So this is only a single attack, but it will deal between 1 and 10 times the durability damage, and it has an 8-hour cooldown. So potentially, and it's only potentially because it is random, but say if you hit an opponent's say if you hit a structure with that Avalanche and Footmen mixed combination, potentially it could, if this 10 times triggers, it would take 13,600 durability in 1 hit. That is going to be around them, and plus obviously you'll have the extra destructive power from here as well. So you could potentially do over 14,000 demolition damage. No, sorry, over 11,000 demolition damage in 1 hit if this activates and you get the 10 times. So these are a couple of skills that are related to demolition power from this section. Also, if you look from a defensive point of view on the blue down, these nodes will increase durability of your honor buildings. So whether if you're in a Reign of Chaos season, this is going to be beneficial to you. In seasons 1 to 3, when you're playing on the maps, you might want to do this. So these sections here are going to increase, and again, there's 9 of them. So you can increase the durability value of your honor buildings by 81 points. And there is also, at the bottom here, building shield gives the building a 30-minute shield, and demolition damage taken is minus 50%. So if you were wanting to protect a key building and you need to try and slow down the opponents from reaching your AC, for instance, you could activate this building shield, or several of you could activate building shields, and that would mean that the opponent has basically got to use double the demolition power to destroy, to zero that building, because the damage is 50% less, and it's got an 8-hour cooldown. So those are a couple of skills on blue related to that. And then finally, also on specialization combat, red specialization, if you go up, red up, at the top here, there are 2 banners. Raider banner, which if you place this banner, then it will last for 30 minutes. And when allies attack tiles, or targets, sorry, within 5 tiles of the banner, so that's the yellow zone, you'll see when you place a banner, you'll see that a yellow zone appears on the map. And depending on if you've got this at the base level, level 1 or level 5, it can give an extra 10% demolition power to those attacks. So for instance, again, if you're in a Reign of Chaos, you're trying to take down some buildings close to the AC, which have higher durability. Maybe you place a banner that's going to allow you to zero those buildings quicker, including the AC. For those of us on Eden maps, you would have seen in my Eden videos that we use these on targets that have very high durability, like high level towns, capitals, gates even, so that you can then attack them and reduce their durability quicker from your attacks, because you've got that increase in your demolition power. And then finally, Pioneer banner. This does have an impact on your demolition power because it saves your stamina. It can maxed out. This will mean that you only have to use 5 stamina per hit. So effectively, this would double your demolition value because you're allowed to you could do 20 hits with each legion instead of 10. So those are kind of all the elements that impact on demolition power. So I hope you found this video helpful, guys. It was a viewer request video that I've had recently. It is kind of key. You would have seen if you've watched any of my Eden videos, I have 3 sets of Footman gold gear. I have lots of, if I get a Footman season hero or SX hero, I keep them and I develop them if I can, because having at least, well, with my Avalanche Legion and with 3 Footman Legions, I can do an awful lot of demolition. I have an awful lot of demolition power across my 4 legions. I can take a lot of the durability off the structures, and that gets me a lot of points. And obviously it makes it easier for your alliance or for your guild. The more demolition power each of your accounts have, the easier it will be to take those high value structures, or if you're earlier in the game in S1 to 3, the easier it should be to take those honor structures and ACs from your opponent. So there we go, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please do click on that like, and I'd be interested to hear your comments on Demolition Value. If you have any of the further questions, please do pop them in the comments section. And if you could please share my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to share and communicate with your fellow players in the game, that would be absolutely great. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.